Welcome to the Laws of Life webcast network, and today's program is My Legal Advocate, hosted by our diamond sponsor, Tim Marecki, founding partner of Marecki and Medola, and our personal injury in the Laws of Life networking group. How are you, Tim?
I'm very well. Blanca, how are you?
I am amazing, always happy to learn all of your laws of personal injury. Today, we will be discussing incidents involving pedestrians in an accident. So just for definitional purposes, what is the scenario look like?
That would be anytime a person is on foot and they're struck by a motor vehicle.
Okay, so what is the current law on pedestrians and what they're supposed to be doing?
Okay, so our state actually has a law about how pedestrians are supposed to cross and deal with the street. Violation of this law results in a $15 fine to the pedestrian. And I'll just read from the statute.
Sure.
Pedestrians must obey all traffic control devices unless they're otherwise directed by a police officer. If there's a sidewalk, pedestrians must use it. If there's not, pedestrians should walk on the shoulder of the road facing the traffic in the opposite direction that the traffic is coming from. If there's a crosswalk present, drivers have to wait for pedestrians to cross the road before proceeding. If there is no crosswalk, pedestrians must wait until traffic is clear before crossing the road. Unless specific traffic control devices allow it, pedestrians may not cross an intersection diagonally. Floridians, if you violate these rules, you'll be fined $15.
All right. Well, that's good to know. And it's a good reminder as to how we're supposed to properly cross the street. Because you know what? We've learned so many laws our whole life, and sometimes we forget. So this is a very good reminder. Now, as to the next point, what are the rules when it comes to recovering for the damages that you suffer if, God forbid, you are hit by a vehicle as a pedestrian?
Right. So this would be a negligence case. And, you know, in legal terms, what we have to prove in a negligence case is that the person that injured you owed you a duty of care. That person violated that duty, and your injuries are a result of that person's action. You know, that's the legalese. In common terms, there's almost no scenario that I can imagine that a driver is not going to be at least partially negligent for hitting a pedestrian in the road.
So going to that point, if I did violate the Florida statute that you spoke about, am I still able to recover for the damages that I sustain?
You are still able to recover. Your damages are going to be reduced because your violation of that statute and how to cross the road is going to invoke the doctrine of comparative negligence. And here in our state, the jury is allowed to apportion fault between the injured party and the party that caused it. And if you're violating the statute and crossing the road improperly, and the defense, the person that hit you, is able to prove that, your damages are going to be reduced, but you're not going to be foreclosed from recovery.
That is so, that really is good to know. Do you believe that there's a lot of people out there that are depriving themselves of the opportunity to recover because they believe that if they have even 1% of responsibility for the incident, that they don't deserve to recover? Do you believe that?
Yeah, I do believe there's a lot of people out there that think that are probably entitled to recovery that aren't pursuing it. What I would say is that if you're injured and there's another person or company involved in that injury, you should call a personal injury attorney. You should call my office. We will talk to you. We will consult with you for as long as it takes, free of charge. And you have nothing to lose by picking up the phone and calling me about what happened with your injury.
Absolutely. And people can call Tim. Tim is not just an attorney. He is a leader in the community. He is a sponsor of the Laws of Life networking group, of the webcast network. He's a member of the advisory board. There's a relationship, there's a community connection. And that's why it's so wonderful that if anybody out there watching, if you're a friend of mine, you are a friend of Tim's. And if you call Tim's office, his team will assist you in immediately setting a meeting with him. And that meeting is completely complimentary, for the record, right?
Always.
Now, another initiative that you have been doing, Tim, has been very beneficial. You've been doing this actually for a year now. We're almost partially into we are in the second year of you providing a complimentary review of our network's car policy. Tell me about that.
Yeah, that's right. Because of the laws in our state, our state has some of the most lax requirements for car insurance in the entire nation. What I found in my practice doing this for quite a few years is that most people are inadequately covered with their car insurance to compensate for somebody else's injury that they caused, or to compensate themselves for an injury that somebody else caused to them. So what we've been doing is we've been inviting the public to contact my office, send us a copy of your insurance policy in our email. You'll get a complimentary review by an experienced car accident attorney. And within 24 hours, we'll give you some feedback about your coverage and what you should or shouldn't be carrying.
And what is the process? How is the best way to email your law firm to give you the policy, to get that process going?
Absolutely. I see the email address right on the screen. That's where you email that insurance policy to. You don't have to do anything else. Just send a little message in the body of the email about who you are and how to contact you, and we'll review that policy and get back to you.
That is fantastic. And a lot of people in our networking group have said incredibly positive things about this experience. And that car policy will be reviewed within 48 hours. And if you're not a techie and you're not good at emailing, just call Tim's office, schedule an appointment, and bring the policy in. And Tim will sit down with you and look at it. We'll make it work for whatever your technical or digital skill is. Because right now, there's a lot of people that are struggling with this transition to the digital world. And so you actually prefer in-person meetings, don't you, Tim? Am I right about that?
I like in-person meetings. I have no problem talking on Zoom. I have no problem talking on the phone. It doesn't matter.
That's incredible. Well, this has been a highly informative episode. So just remember, if God forbid you or someone you know or care about is injured, when they are a pedestrian by a motor vehicle, there is recovery for them, for you. Don't deprive yourself of that recovery, even if you believe you're partially responsible under the theory of comparative negligence, as Tim explained. And if you don't know or you're not sure, just call Tim. His door is open. There's no charge. If you want your auto policy reviewed, email it to him at info@mylegaladvocate.com. Tim, as always, it is a pleasure to spend Friday mornings with you, and I wish you a beautiful weekend.
Thank you very much, Blanca. Everybody have a nice weekend and stay safe.
All right. But goodbye, everyone. We'll see you next